Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Man, I love it. I love when I go into these different Facebook groups and watch the chats that go on. Some people share some great information. They have great debates. You know, there's discussions that go on. Other people are just pure a-holes, let's be honest. You got people that are in there that are trolling, or people who are just so biased in their investment that no matter what you say to them, no matter the facts that you show them, they're just hell-bent on protecting what they believe is the right investment. That's their prerogative. I get it. But for me, I like to think that the group that we have on Facebook, and there are some a-holes on there, I get it. But I like to think that what we're doing in there is you come together as a community, everybody shares information that I hope will help others make a smart decision that benefits them and their families and other people. That's what I hope. Now, I can't catch every little nook and cranny that's out there. It's impossible. There's too much information. Not only that, there's a huge problem. There's a lot of misinformation, disinformation, and lack of information, in my opinion. So people always say, well, Pimpy, what do you think is the best investment choice? It's not up to me what you decide to put your money into. I can only tell you what I do. I can tell you why I choose to do what I do. But I will share other information, even on stuff that I don't agree with, as far as an investment is concerned. One of those being the Zim dollar. I know a lot of people invested into the Zim dollar, so anytime I come across some news, I share it with you. I won't encourage nor will I discourage people from investing into those things. Those are your choices. Like I said, there are some people out there that are full-hearted, full-bent in their beliefs in the Zim dollar. Okay, so again, everybody, it's up to them to use their own discretion on what it is you want to invest in. I mean, I expressed myself several times about the way I feel about certain cryptocurrencies. We'll get into that a little bit more. But like I said, there's a lot of misinformation out there and disinformation as well. And we're seeing a lot of manipulation in the markets. It's not even funny. They do it so blatantly anymore. And it's just sick that nothing gets done about it. And trust and believe when I say this, that it's all part of a bigger plan. We'll get into that. Before we get started, hit the thumbs up button. If you are not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying precious metals, whether it's gold, silver, copper, nickel, rhodium, platinum, palladium, go to our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link will be down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code PIMPY, P-I-M-P-Y, and you'll get a free half ounce of silver. Alrighty, a quick look at the S&P 500, Dow, NASDAQ, Russell, all of them positive territory today. Why? Nobody knows. There really shouldn't be any reason. We know there's a stock market crash happening. And we're talking about raising interest rates. And I mean a huge interest rate hike coming. Inflation is terrible. We got an invasion going on, but yet the stock markets are just going along like nothing's happening. So what we're noticing as far as investments are concerned, whether it's stock market, cryptocurrencies, gold, or silver, and that is none of these assets are behaving normally, considering everything that's going on, both politically for us here in the United States and geopolitically around the world. The behaviors are not normal. When we see people who are concerned about the economy, and it looks like it's taking a downturn, and inflation is going up, people move from riskier assets into safer assets, like gold and silver. We were watching the stock market crash. It literally was going down, down, down. And gold and silver are starting to go up, 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 like they're supposed to. And then all of a sudden, gold and silver get smacked down. You see, we got midterms coming up. And people that are in power are trying to convince the world that our economy is just great. It's groovy. Because they want to stay in power so they can continue going back into the shutdowns all over again. Back to all the mandates all over again. And pushing the Great Reset. But right now, they know that's not popular, and they got to do whatever it takes, and I mean whatever it takes, to convince the public that they are the right choice to stay in office when we know better. So one of those things are you can't run around and tell everybody that you have the greatest recovery ever and that you created all these jobs and that everything is peaches and cream when inflation is in double digits. The stock market is dropping and gold and silver is rising. These are all indicators that things are not as good economically as they're trying to tell us. If I'm the administration, what do? Well, I can't tell everybody that the economy is recovering if indeed the number of unemployment continues to go up. I can't tell them we have a great recovery if the stock market's going down. I can't say we have a great recovery if gold and silver is going up. I can't say we have a great recovery if people are getting out of riskier assets and getting into safe havens. We see inflation in double digits. It's a real hard sell to the American people that you're the great administration that you think you are if all the indicators say otherwise. So, what do? Well, you start fidgeting with the numbers. I mean, come on, it's your administration. We've seen Obama do it several times. What they were doing with the unemployment numbers was they would count people who ran out of benefits as going back to work. They said, well, if they're not receiving benefits, they must have went back to work. No, that's the same thing we're seeing again now. All you got to do is go over to where the job participation numbers are, and you can see the truth. Another thing is Biden is not creating all these jobs. People are just going back to the old jobs, the ones that were there long before Biden got in there. He shouldn't be able to count any jobs as being created until he reaches the pre-pandemic level of jobs. Then we could say that he's created new jobs, because he's not. The point being, they're not being honest about any of the information that we get, and it affects your decision whenever you're trying to figure out what is the right decision when it comes to investing my money. Is the economy crashing? Is the markets going to drop? Is the dollar losing its power? Are inflation numbers in double digits? Because if so, I need to be in precious metals. If everything is truly great and there's no risk and our economy is not going to see a downside, well then heck, I'm going to continue down a path of riskier assets. Because with more risk is more gains. If something happens, you can afford to wait to recover. But if the numbers that we're getting are constantly being changed, manipulated, for instance, all of a sudden Biden's administration found a ton of new jobs. They said, hey, the jobs numbers were wrong. There wasn't that many unemployed people. There was a correction of 1.4 million people magically found jobs. What a great quarter. Does anybody remember that? Yeah. So everything is being manipulated. We're seeing JP Morgan have a field day because nobody gives a crap about what they're doing. Man, they're finding silver, selling silver, getting Bank of America to help them on the puts. I mean, it's unbelievable. So our little criminals in office don't even hide their criminality. It's just doing it right out in the open. And what are you going to do about it? Nothing. You'll complain. Congratulations. But nobody's going to hear it. They control the media. And if you complain about it on social media, they take it down. See what I'm saying? So anyways, this is a problem whenever you're trying to decide what to invest into. And so I just said, here was my response to that. I get everybody has their favorites. And I've been talking about gold and silver for a long time. To me, of course, gold and silver is the safest bet. The safest. And yes, I understand crypto people are like, well, Pimpy, look what I got on my returns for cryptocurrencies. I get it. It's tempting. And I don't want to discourage people from going into cryptocurrencies. What I'm saying is this. Just be smart about it. Grab your profits as they come along and put them profits into something safer. It doesn't have to be gold and silver. I think it should be. That's just my opinion. Protect yourself. But if you have a way to grab profits and make money off cryptocurrencies, then do so. I'm waiting for some big bang to happen with cryptocurrencies. Right now, I know cryptocurrencies are being used along with the paper, gold, and silver market to help suppress and hold down the value of gold and silver. There's no doubt about it. You ever notice that when gold and silver start to go up, Well, then magically, all of a sudden, you'll see cryptocurrencies start to go up as well, and then gold and silver go down, and then a bunch of contracts are dumped on the market. And then for some reason, we see a drop of unbelievable amounts off gold and silver while cryptos are going up. That's because they want cryptocurrencies to grab a share of the market away from gold and silver. Look, it's a great tactic. It really is. That's why you're seeing all these billionaires and hedge fund managers all running into cryptocurrencies because they can manipulate them. They own so many of the cryptocurrencies, it's not even funny. It's real easy for them to dump them on the market, scare the bejeebus out of everybody. All the speculators sell. You sell cheap. You sell. They buy cheap. And they convince you to buy more. They convince you to buy them as they raise the prices. And it's just a wicked cycle. And it's easy to just keep stealing money from the people down below who don't know any better. That could be the same. It's the same way with gold and silver. It's the same way with any assets whatsoever. If you guys remember when those people from Wall Street Bets, remember what they did? Is they found that there was 142% shorts on stocks for GameStop. Is that right? A GameStop stock? Is that what it was? How the hell do you get 142%? They exposed corruption there. And you know what happened? What did the government do to go after that? Go, what the hell? How's this possible? Nope. They went straight after the people on Wall Street Bets. Yeah, that's the kind of people you got in office. They didn't go after where the criminality was happening. They went after people who took advantage of it. How can we stop you from stealing money from billionaires and hedge funds? Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. So to me, that's why gold and silver is safest. When the criminals just run around and rob you in broad daylight and don't even care about the cops who see it and do nothing about it, well, then you need to be a little bit more protected, if you get my drift. Is cryptocurrencies that answer? I don't think so. That's just my opinion. I do have cryptocurrencies, of course. I have some exposure to it. But I do think it is a risk. So just be careful. Pay attention to what's going on at all times. When you see a bunch of billionaires and hedge fund managers saying, hey, everybody, let's run over to cryptos, that's when you should do the opposite, in my opinion. Anyways, it is looking good. Looks like the vast majority of them are in the green. Finally, Bitcoin above 42,000. It is sitting at 42,706. Ethereum finally above the $3,000 mark again at $3,008. Our new world order cryptos, let's get at them. XRP is at 84 cents. Cardano's at 97 cents. Solana, $92.03. Avalanche, $85.95. Polkadot, $20, finally above the $20 mark at $20.04. Dogecoin's at 12 cents. Shiba's at 4024. Polygon's at $1.52. Crypto.com's at 42 cents. All of them looking pretty good. Come over here to Satama. Satama 7010. Well, it's trying to do some kind of recovery. Man, there's so many people turning on Satama right now. They just can't seem to get it together, man. But I still hold on to my cryptos. As long as I continue to get reflections, I have no problems with it. Whether it drops all the way down to zero and I got a bunch of nothing, or if all of a sudden it gets their crap together and they rebound and we start taking off. Either way, I'm holding tight. Now, people are asking me about SBER Bank, the Russian stock. I said, well, it stopped at 52 cents. As you can see, they're not allowing any trade information on it because they're not reporting it anymore due to the penalties given to Russia. As we look at the price of silver, it's at $24.76. It got the beat down. Still, it's continuing to get the beat down. Gold's at $1,921.30. The same with gold. So both gold and silver are being really, really super manipulated right now. There's no doubt about it. We got midterms coming up. Like I said, you can't convince the world and American citizens that you have this great economy and everything's doing good and vote us all back into office. If gold and silver are taking off, stock market's going down, it's just not going to look good. Now you got the Feds talking about jacking up interest rates possibly 3/4 to 1 full point. That's a huge jump. Now that does affect gold and silver in a negative way. But I think they figured out the formula. The Fed has. Look, we'll just keep lying about the numbers. Just keep making the numbers on the stock market look like they're higher than they are. There's no way for anybody to see or care. Just lie your ass off. We'll continue to raise interest rates, convince the world that everything is good because the market's doing good and we're able to raise interest rates. helps with inflation. And who's to know any better? We know this how? Because all the experts are looking at the charts, the numbers, and going, what they're saying is not a reality of what the numbers truly are. They're lying. I've been complaining about that for how long now? They're lying to you. So as soon as they feel like they're in the proper position, just yank the rug out from under you. Oops. So just be safe. Diversify, be safe. And crypto people, just be careful, man. Seriously. Grab your profits and don't hold on to too long, and don't get greedy going, oh man, if I had kept those other 100 cryptos, then I could have made an extra $1,000. You can't be Monday quarterbacking. You can't be looking at things in hindsight. What you should be saying is, look, I took a portion out. I feel safe. I'm good. My cryptos are still making money. I got gold and silver to protect me. See the balance there? Because once the rug comes out from under your feet, I have a feeling you're going to see cryptos crash in a bad way. All this positive side on the stock market, and the reason why the Feds feel like they could raise rates is because of what? Oh yeah, that invasion thing. Let me show you why you could tell this invasion is just BS. War is raging, but Russia is still paying Ukraine for gas flows? What the heck? So let me get this straight. A country that is being invaded, Ukraine, by another country, Russia, is still selling gas to the country that's invading them, and the people who are invading are still paying for the gas that they're getting from the country they're invading? Does that make sense to anybody? So Russia is still paying Ukraine for gas flow. So Ukraine is allowing Russia to get some gas, and Russia's nice enough to pay them during the war, but this is still going on. Jeez. Oh, good Lord. Can you imagine you have a neighbor next to you? For some reason, their water is not working. And they ask you, hey, can I hook up to your water line just for a little bit until I get mine fixed? You're like, no problem. Then the next thing you know, you two are having a shootout. They're trying to rob your house. They're trying to steal your house from you. You're going back and forth, back and forth. But every couple of hours, they stop to hand you a handful of money and thank you for still allowing them to use your water. Yeah. Okay. This makes sense, doesn't it, you guys? Come on, man. How real is this thing going on over there, man? Seriously, I think it's just a convenience that all of a sudden popped up. Why? Because this great reset thing was falling apart. They're like, we need a stall, we need a delay, we need an excuse for everything. By the way, did you know 17 countries, 17 of them have now adopted the Vax passports? Did you know that? Why you sleeping on a job, Bob? Yeah. See, so stuff is still being pushed forward for the Great Reset. And now they're using this invasion as an excuse to push everybody into the central bank digital currency. You gotta love it. But this is classic. I still have that image of when somebody's grabbing your hand, making you slap your own face, and they go, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Mr. Pimpy, skimpy peanut butter guy, that guy, whatever. Somebody said he made another video. I said, what's he crying about now? He said, I'm picking on him. I said, I'm picking on him. I didn't say anything mean besides the Pimpy Skippy peanut butter. I loved it. He's like, oh, he attacked me. I guess he was saying that his friends XRP and are not New World Order and the whole 9 yards. Yes, people, they are. They are. All these people right here. Look at this. The same group of people. Cardano, Solana, and other non-Ethereum tokens. They focus on new Grayscale smart contract fund. Grayscale Investments unveil its smart contract platform, EX Ethereum Fund, on Tuesday, aiming to offer exposure to smart contract technology outside of the Ethereum blockchain. What? An alternative to Ethereum? Uh-oh. Somebody's trying to jump in the ring with the Mike Tysons of blockchain. The fund refers to as GSCPEX will track the CoinDesk smart contract platform select EX Ethereum index according to a statement. Now this is funny. This is funny. I'm going to show you how blatantly these criminals try to rob people. You want to talk about a conflict of interest? Pay attention. Currently holding are Cardano with 24.6%, Solana at 24.3%, Avalanche at 17%, Polkadot at 16.2%, Polygon at 9.7, Algorand at 4.3, Stellar at 4.1. Do any of those names ring a bell to you? Oh, yeah, they're all the people who have been ISO 222 compliant. All of these people. And each one of these has a specific job in helping the creation of the central bank's digital currency. Now, what you have to ask yourself is why would any crypto company take part in helping with the CBDC, knowing that it would be a direct competitor and could be the reason to outlaw these particular cryptos? Does that make any sense to anybody? That's almost like, oh, I don't know, let's say a country invades another country, all right? And the country that's being invaded is selling gas to the other country, and the other country's paying for it. That'd be something similar, wouldn't it? Yeah. The world has gone kooky. And this is what's mind blowing. You want something that's the mind screw? Try this. You ever thought that maybe these cryptocurrencies were created to get people to invest money into them so that they can use your money to create the CBDC and then tank these cryptos later on and say to you, thank you for funding our project? Wouldn't that be something else? Something to think about. But these are all the New World Order coins. That's right. That's what I'm calling them. They all are part of the same group who are helping with the creation of the central bank digital currency. And now they're all part of a new project. And Grayscale's involved? Now again, by all means, if you want to make money off it, do so. Here's my thing. People say, but Pimpy, what if XRP goes all the way to the moon? Congratulations, I already made this point in one of my videos. I don't care if I could jump in right now at $1 per XRP. I buy 1,000 of them and they jump up to $1 million per share. I don't care. The point is, I don't want any part at all with helping investing in any company that's going to be responsible for creating a central bank digital currency that we know its sole purpose is to literally enslave and control every human being out here. Why would I want to invest it? I don't care how much money it can make me. What good is that money if I'm in prison? What good is that money if it puts me into a type of system in which I'm controlled by my government every step of the way? All my rights are gone. All my freedoms are gone. Is it worth it that you get it? You might think so. Well, congratulations. And if you think they're going to let you keep that money, you're sadly mistaken. You'll be like, yeah, I got rich. Then the central bank digital currency comes out and they're like, anybody making this amount of money and more, you gotta pay this, your fair share of tax. Whap, and they take it all. And you'll be like, what the hell just happened? I'm mad. Well, you never should have invested into those companies. That's just my opinion. It's like a company comes out and makes a baby lotion, right? And you put it on the baby and all of a sudden it's got blisters and its skin's peeling off. It's all red-faced and irritated. And the baby's crying every day. And you're like, oh my God, that lotion's terrible. But man, I picked up the stock for like $1 each. It's up to $100 and you still own shares of the company. It almost makes as much sense as, let's say one country invades another country, and that country that's being invaded is selling gas to the country that's invading them, and the people who are invading are paying for that gas. Does that make sense? I'm just throwing that out there. Since investors' demand for diversified exposure has grown in parallel to the ongoing evolution of the crypto ecosystem, Grayscale parent, here we go, conflict of interest. Grayscale parent company Digital Currency Group is also the owner of CoinDesk. Yes, that's right. Which is run as an independent subsidiary. You notice how they have filled it in there. It's independent. It's independent. Why is that, Pimpy? Well, you see, CoinDesk is where a lot of people go to get their news and information about different blockchains and different cryptocurrencies. So it's not like Grayscale would ever be tempted to, oh, I don't know, use CoinDesk to manipulate prices. Remember when they crapped all over Shiba and stopped its momentum and crapped all over Satama and stopped their momentum? Yeah, those types of things. Remember I said, I feel like there's some type of crypto establishment. Yeah. So this is a conflict of interest. The fund is currently only offered in a private placement to accredited investors, But as Grayscale has done for 9 of its other investment products, the firm will seek to obtain a public quotation on the secondary market, according to the statement. Of course they will. Anything to control this particular arena. Now you can understand my disgust and frustration with cryptocurrencies. Usurping dollar's dominance over world is a near impossible task. No, it's not. It's real simple. All you got to do is all the countries at once just stop using the US dollar and use your local currency, and that'll end that just like that. Or implement the gold standard, and that'll take care of it just like that. You see, here's what goes on. Every time countries, whether it's one or more, try to stop using the US dollar as a reserve dollar, then there's consequences. We need regime change. Yeah, and we'll put in somebody that we know and trust. You think I'm kidding? Look what happened to Libya. Look what happened to Iraq. We were told the weapons of mass destruction. No. That's because Libya and Iraq, their leaders, were deciding they weren't going to use the petrodollar anymore, and they were going to go to what was known as a gold dinar. Now you see China and Russia, what are they doing? Not using the US dollars no more. And now Saudi Arabia is talking about selling oil in yuan dollars and no more US dollars. And now what's happening? Oh yeah, that Khashoggi thing all of a sudden's popping back up. So you see, our political leaders haven't just been screwing us, they've been screwing people around the world. And people are tired of it. El Salvador decided to go to Bitcoin as a currency to prevent them from being punished by the SWIFT system. The IMF is asking them to please stop doing that. There's a lot of criminals out there, man. And they are running our countries. Not a good thing. Anyways, this article goes on to say, look, replacing the US dollar as the reserve dollar is not going to be easy. The US dollar is too powerful, is what this article is trying to tell us. The only thing that gives it its power is because it's recognized as the reserve dollar. As soon as countries stop using it, this article doesn't mean anything. Now, understand that a lot of these central banks around the world, a lot of these countries, hold on to US dollars. They use them as safe havens. But what you're not understanding is this. Russia, China, India have been dumping US dollars. They obviously have something big coming up. We're starting to see other countries do the same thing. They are removing the US dollars out of their stack of reserve dollars. Now, they're not going to do it 100%, let's be honest. But if you saturate the market with too many of the dollars that we have, that messes up the Fed books, it looks bad, and the US dollar will lose a ton of its power and the control that it has over most of the world. So make sure that you are invested in the right assets, because when the dollar takes a dive, and this article don't mean squabbly, but I do want to point something out in these articles. Pay attention to their choice of words. Word magic. Dethroning the dollar is easier said than done. Dethroning? As in you're the king? It says that's the conclusion of investors after Washington's freeze of the Russian dollar holdings created fresh impetus amongst central banks to rethink the security of assets to foreign exchange reserves. So, what is this saying? After what Washington did to Russia, it is causing central banks, in other words, other countries, to rethink the security. In other words, we're going to make you guys think twice about trying to screw over the United States. This is the move fueled speculation that countries such as China could redouble efforts to unshackle itself from greenback's dominated financial system and look for alternatives. Look at this choice of words, unshackle. So countries are shackled to the US dollar. They're imprisoned by its dominance. We're not done. While Goldman Sachs and Credit Suisse groups, AG, have flagged threats to the dollar's supremacy. Have flagged threats? Threats? What do you mean threats? Why are you flagging threats? That's because they're targeting threats. Of the dollar supremacy, what happened to the supremacy was a bad word. Look it. You can see this. Finding a valid replacement is going to be extremely challenging, according to the funds from Brandywine Global Investment Management and JP Asset Management. So notice these words: dethrone, rethink, unshackle, flagged threats, supremacy. In this article, they're telling you that the dollar is being used to imprison everybody, man. Think about it. I do think it's an interesting choice of words, don't you? And the way they use them in this article is pretty frightening. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm an American citizen. People are like, Pimpy, don't you support America? Not this type of America. I understood when this country stood up to be the beacon of light for freedom, not to enslave everybody and force them into a one world system. So if you look at the history of the reserve dollar, how it gets its status, how the country that has that particular reserve status gains in power, becomes a world dominant country, and then the empire falls. It tells you that the country that starts to lose its power will start doing anything and everything it takes, no matter what, including creating wars, to keep its dominance on the world. That's where we are. But keep in mind, those people aren't sending their kids to go fight wars. They're sending yours. Anyways, that's it for now. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.